It's the HBS show with lesson the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model. Yeah, Oluwa lifted me higher. Oh, now they wanna eat with me. Now they wanna drink with me. Now they see me as something. But I can't forget yesterday when they saw me as nothing. No one knows tomorrow, brother. No one knows tomorrow, sister. No one knows tomorrow, mama. No one knows tomorrow, Baba. Yeah. It's the HBS show with lesson the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model.
Wow, it is HBS Show History Behind Success. My guest on the program today is a definition of God grace. A man who the hand of God is on his head from childhood. A man who feared God. A man who loves God. A man who has imparted in the lives of people. Who is this man? Join me as I make welcome to the program the first Speaker of Delta State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Dr. Emmanuel Okoro, to the program.
It's the HBS show with lesson the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model.
So you're looking so wonderful, so smart and handsome. What's the secret?
Well, the secret is God, and try as much as possible to take care of myself. My way of watching what I eat,
Eating healthy.
eating healthy. Not too much food, not packing too much about how much rice.
Okay, so what are you eating?
I have my own variety of food, local food anyway, not imported food. I don't eat imported food.
Oh yeah?
I don't eat imported food. I eat our local beans. That is mostly my major food.
Okay.
Ora plantain, cucumber,
Wow.
raw tomatoes,
Raw tomatoes.
one egg every day.
As your breakfast?
As my breakfast. Then, sometimes if I want to eat rice, I eat it with beans or vegetable. For my swallow, what did I eat about last? I can't remember, it should be close to 10 years ago.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So what do you take as
initially I was taking as I eat plantain almost unripe potato almost every morning. I was now eating plantain chips. We call it amala. That was some years ago. After some time, I began to discover that I was having some challenges. So I went for a checkup. The doctor said, they checked my blood sugar. I now developed sugar, what do you call it? So sugar, this thing. Then the dietitian said, no. He now asked me, what do I eat? And I explained, he said, no. You can't be eating a ripe plantain almost every day with your meal. Then in the evening or in the afternoon, you take plantain amala. So you're still eating the same thing. So he changed my diet to swallowing diet to millet.
Okay.
Guinea corn, that is millet with guinea corn, ground together. For some years now, that is what I eat.
And it's very good.
Very good then.
Your skin is party.
Yes. Another thing I do again, every other day,
yes,
I do 6-kilometer walk exercise.
Oh, okay.
I did it this morning.
Wow.
Tomorrow I will not do. Following day I will do.
Okay.
I can only miss
You
it.
do it like twice in a week?
No, every other day.
Okay, every other
I did
day.
the walk this morning. Tomorrow I will not walk. The following day I will walk.
Okay.
So I can only stop walk when I travel out of my environment. Maybe like when we went to you for this flag off of PDP.
Okay. So tell us about your background and the family you were born into, and also the schools you attended.
Well, my family background. Firstly, I am from Ofagbe in Isoko North local government area. But what my father told me and what I told me, I was born in the year 1960. And I was born in the year 1960. The way they did their calculation, said I was born in the year 1960. And they said it's October. How do you know it's October? Say, because I was born in October, and they gave me Emmanuel. Emmanuel.
Because you were born in October.
I was born in October.
So what was the relation?
So I now tried to ask the relation. My mother now told me, and my father now told me, okay, that October, when you were born, was the day our church was doing Christ's birth anniversary.
Okay.
Christ's birth anniversary, which is done in October. I said yes. For how long has that church been doing that Christ's birth anniversary? So this is 1939, 40. I said, So what happened? So they married it to when really, because I was born into that church faith, God's Kingdom Society GKS.
Yes.
You get the point? My parents, they born me into that church because they belong to that organization. So they gave me Emmanuel, and that I was born 2nd of October. People they say, that was the day they started the faith. I said, okay. So that was what I was told, and I maintained it since that time. 2nd of October 1960, born out of Agbe, Isoko North government area. And 5-6 years interval, I entered the primary school at only half of primary school. Those I was about 10, 11 years that time. Primary school time, they were only have a primary school in Ofagbe. Ofagbe, we have 2 primary schools.
Okay.
And we have 3 quarters. My quarter where I was born, closer primary school was the only have a primary school, where I attended my primary school. Finished my primary school in 1975, yeah. Then the 3 most popular secondary school in Isoko then was Notre Dame College, Giswell Grammar School, Uru Grammar School and Emmanuel Grammar School. Yeah.
Okay.
Not that college, Israel Grammar School, Emmanuel Grammar School, and Uru Grammar School. Uru Grammar School was nearest to me. So I did my secondary school at Uru Grammar School. Finished my secondary school 1980. That's when I finished my secondary school. And funny again, my parents, my father was born into a polygamous home. Father has about 3 wives. But I was the senior of the eldest. The first, my mother was the eldest wife, and I was the one that born first as the first child. So that polygamous home. Okay. So the funny thing is that my father, because he has other wives, and the man that has 1, 2, 3 wives, probably maybe other concubines outside, sometimes they find it very difficult to manage the home.
Okay.
Particularly the upbringing of the children. In attending my secondary school, yes, my father tried. My father was a petty trader anyway.
Okay.
I was a trader. He tried, okay, how much for school fees? Take, don't come again. No. This is how we go. How much? Okay, take. So we managed to finish the secondary school. And after the secondary school, which was a tug of war to finish because of the financial support, father said, oh, you are finished now, thank God. I don't want to hear anything. Go and see Mr. Itive. He finished your training and is teaching. He's now married. Go and find something to do, go and teach. I'll finish with you. And because it was really so. So when I finished my secondary in 1980, one of my uncle who came from the district with me, Chief Jonathan Uyering, was the first chairman of the Post-Primary Education Board in Delta State during Olorogu Felix Hebrew time. Then he was the principal of Notre Dame College. So as soon as I finished my secondary school, he now employed me to Notre Dame College. Asked me, which do I want to do? To teach or to work in the office? I said, sir, anyone that you know that you want me to do, I will do. He said, okay. Come and head the bursary aspect. I've been acting as the bursar because the bursar then was transferred to another way. So I was in Notre Dame College as a bursar in that school from 1980, that is late 80, 81, 82. I look at the whole situation and say, no, I cannot stop in secondary school. I have to apply to College of Education, Abraka.
Okay.
Good enough, I was admitted to read my NCE in 1983. So I was at Abraka, not sponsored by my father because my father had already forget about my education. You are your own,
Yes.
you are your own. So I was struggling on my own, managing myself.
So what were you doing to meet up at that time?
Because I was working, I saved some little money.
Okay.
And so by the grace, sometimes when you believe in God and you are contented with what God has given to you, God will help you.
Exactly.
God will find a way for you.
Yes.
As soon as I entered the College of Education Abraka, I became involved in student union politics. From the first day
You entered school.
I entered the College of Education, I became involved. Sometimes when some spirit move you, it is God that directs you on
Just
what to
obey.
do. Yeah, so I contested the election to the College of Education parliamentarian
Okay.
when I was in my year 1 to year 2. So I contested to be in the parliament, and I won by the grace of God to be in the student union parliament of the College of Education, 1983-84.
Okay.
So I was in the parliament there. After I was almost finishing that session, I contested election again to be the Secretary General of the Student Union government. It was a hot election. I am from Isoko. Then the dominant ethnic group in that qualification was the Robos, who had a major population. One Hawkins, where both of us contested together. In fact, it was very popular, but I was more popular than him. I had a lot of support from the student union, and I defeated him, and I became the Secretary General of the Student Union of the College of Education. So we were really swimming in the politics of the school.
Yes.
A car was attached to my office. Station wagon. You can imagine. A car was attached to my office, where I was driving the car as a student union.
A big boy.
Yes, a big boy. And that car was attached to the president, Felix Osagai from Edo State, was the president. So we're really working together. So anytime I go home, I will drive the car. I get off, I will say, see this Okoro? I say, yes. I'm the Secretary General of the Student Union. So it was really not
How
really.
was your father faring that?
And my father then was going with the wife and the trade. When he would look at me and say, who are this car? I say, this car belongs to school. It's not for me. But I'll be a leader there. So anyway, that was how we were in the College of Education. I finished the College of Education in 1980, I think 85, 86, 3 years was what I did in that College of Education then. I look at it again. I said, no, as it is so, there's no need for me to have a break. Immediately, I applied for my degree to continue with my degree in the school. I was managing myself anyway.
Yes.
As a student union leader, it was some small stipends we were getting from the student union due. So we were really managing ourselves to survive. Sometimes, when I go home, I will tell my father, so you don't want to give me money. But you have money. I said, I don't have money. I'm just a student. Okay, take this 100 naira. Okay. I had this guy. He would do that. There was one of my sister too, though late now, from my disabled community. He was also helping me a little finance sometimes when I go on holiday and so on. So that was how I was managing the school as a student in the College of Education. And when I applied for my degree, I started doing my degree. My College of Education, I was doing history and education. Okay. Then when I applied for my degree, I majored on history. Okay. So BA history and education. Within the university level too, as a political activist in the school, there was now the university senate now set up a court, a high court, to judge the students, to look at the affairs of the students, to discipline anybody who is found wanted as found worthy of criminality or anything at all. Yeah. So the senate met, they look at a lot of people, and by the grace of God, I was chosen to be a judge in the Student Union High Court. A judge in the Student Union High Court. About 3 of us were chosen in the university to be judges. One, Emeka OJ, is a lecturer at the college at Delta State University. He's a professor now. Okay. Was the chief judge. I was a member. I was a judge. Another student too. So that really occupied me throughout. And university was very happy on how we were dealing as judges. Where there was really discipline in the school. There was a time that this courtism was very rampant, and many of them that were found in such a wanting, in such a criminality or whatever, they always bring them to our court. We will judge them, recommend to the Senate, some of them will be expelled, and so on and so forth. So that was how it was. And as I was involved in my student union activity, I never played with my academic. Okay. That is the truth. Yes. Because if you play with it, then you are out. You will not be able to finish your school as and when you are supposed to finish.
That's true.
So I never had any carryover throughout my period of the College of Education to the time of my first degree in the university. I completed my university at Abraka in that was 1988, 90. 1988, 90 was when I completed my university. Then I was posted to Akwa Ibom State, Uyo,
For your NYC.
for my NYC. So at my NYC in Uyo, I was also dedicated, God being my side too, I was not posted to any of the villages. I was posted to the state capital at the School of Arts and Science, Uyo, where I lectured for the period of my service. And good enough too, God has always been favored to me. When I was at Uyo, my friend, who was the President General with me, Felix Osaga, that when I was Secretary General, it was a district. He now told me, Aima, you are posted to Uyo. I said yes. He said, look, there's one of my brother who is in Uyo there. He's working in the ceramics company. I will talk to him, you will live with him. So really,
Favor.
yeah, favor. I was really with him. He was having a Beetle car. The evening we would stroll out, enjoy ourselves, we'll come back. So I was really very comfortable during my NYC period. So I completed my NYC 1991. That was the period when Ibrahim Babangida was the military president. And that was the time too, he decided to come out with handing over to civilian government. He came out with his democracy program. Then Jerry Ghana and co were appointed to fashion out the policies and program on how to prepare his handing over to a civilian government. And he made it again that the politics that he want to evolve should be a grassroots politics where younger people will be allowed and not money bags to hijack the politics. That was his policy. That if you are known within your locality, you can go home and contest whether you have money or you don't have money. You must start from the grassroots. So the very year, that 1991, precisely in March, April, was when I finished my service. So I tailored my mind, I prepared my mind that as I'm going to go home, I look at the locality where I come from, of Agbe in my place, no roads, no lights, the schools are dilapidated, nothing to share about. I said I will take it as a challenge because I look at it that, yes, when the government is nearer to you, you will benefit the dividends of democracy. You will remember your place. And nobody that has ever contested election, apart from Ozoro, that had the major population. Mine from Ofagba was in the minority, we regard as a minority. So when I came out from my youth service,
you came out with hot
yes, I came out. I was having 50 naira.
Okay.
I took 20 naira from it, traveled to Benin, that was Bender State then, Bender State. I traveled to Benin, I bought a form that I want to go to the House of Assembly. People look at me, youth copper. I want to go to the House of Assembly. I say, I am contesting to the House of Assembly. People thought I was joking. With how much?
Love it. All right, in case you are just joining us, it is HBS show, History Behind Success. And our guest on the program is Right Honorable Dr. Emmanuel Okoro. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's the HBS show with lesson the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model. show with lesson the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model.
Yes, good to know that you're still there. You're still on the program HBS show, History Behind Success. And before that break, our guest on the program was telling us that immediately after his youth service, he bought a form to contest as an honorable member in Bendo State House of Assembly. So tell us.
So I went to Benin, I bought a form.
As a copper.
As a copper. That was the moment I finished my youth service.
Yes.
I want to contest to the House of Assembly. Then, in my place, we were having about 4 of them that were already on the race.
Yes.
They have money, they have families. One of my colleagues, Michael Gulaya, they are still alive anyway. In fact, his uncle gave him a Peugeot 504. He was always moving around.
They had a known
no, it was not a no politician,
okay.
But they have the money, their family and so on. So I said, okay, no problem, but I'm contesting. We came from the same place. Another one, late Katrina Lolo.
Okay.
Yes. Was also contesting Mark Boama. Already contested, they have backup. I said, okay, I am contesting election to the House of Assembly. They will look at me and contest as I am contesting election. Play. With determination, knowing fully well that God that give me the mind to do so will certainly see me to the end.
Yes.
So, after buying the form, I went to the party chairman who was in our locality then. I told him I bought a form. I want to contest. He looked at me. You are from where? I said, I'm from Ofagbe. From Ofagbe. Okay, you want to contest election? Where are you working? I said, I just finished my youth service last month. You just finished your youth service last month? I said, yes. So, and you want to contest election? Yes, I want to contest to the House of Assembly, not as a councillor, to the House of Assembly. The man looked at me, I said, yes. He said, okay, but it's going to involve money. I said, how's it going to involve money? I said, because you have to show us in your bank account what you have in your account, because let it not look as if you are going there or we allow you to contest. When it comes to the main election, you will not see money to prosecute the election. I said, how much will be in my bank account before you will know that I got the election? Say something about 90, 100,000. I said, I have it. And you mean you have it? I said, I have it. It's not the money that is in my account that you want to see. He said, yes. I said, okay, no problem. How long do you need it? He said, if you can bring it next week, then we can start to process your paper. I said, okay, no problem. I went to Warri. One of my uncle is a welder, but he was doing well in chair. I met him and said, uncle, I'm contesting election. He said, you're contesting election? I said, yeah. I said, but he told me that I must have 100,000 in my account before they will accept my form. It's 100,000. He said, well, let me open an account. I will pay it into your account.
Wow.
Are they going to take the money? I said, I'm not going to take the money, but they said they want to have evidence that have such money. 100,000 that time it was something a million.
Yeah,
so that my uncle Judy Jala, now rally rounds. He took me to First Bank. I opened an account. He paid the money to my account. I said, okay, that was Friday. On Monday, I went to print the statement of accounts. I went to meet the man. I said, sir, I'm back. Where is the statement of account? I said, this is my statement of account. Look at it.
So the 100,000.
Yeah, 100,000 is there. Okay. So really, we started it. It was a task that was really challenging because other my colleagues were using vehicles, they were going in, but I was having a bicycle. My father's bicycle was what I was using. As they were moving with their vehicle, I was using my bicycle to move from one place to the other. I would ride bicycle here, they would meet. When I met them, they would say, oh, I said, I'm contesting election. What is the drink? I don't have money. I just finished my youth service, but please help me. So that was really, I was telling them my position. I just finished youth service, I'm this, I'm that. My area, they have not tasted the government representation in most of these things. So really, I was having the sympathy of many of them. As I was doing that, Ozoro man that was contesting with me and other people too that were contesting in other areas. Before we hear, Babangida now created Delta State. So as soon as Delta State was created in August 27, they now divide the constituency. The whole of Isoko and the general Isoko, which was supposed to be my constituency, were contesting, was now divided into two. Isoko North, Isoko South. Fine. And I fall to Isoko North. I said, fine. So they have Katrina Lolo, the Magua, all of them, they have now gone to their own, they have the money on their side. It came to my side now. I was there with the other money back, Michael Upilaya. I said, okay. And then one of my brother again, William Omoviro, is from Abuja now. Williams, we call him King Ibe, was also contesting with me from Bosoro there, the most popular stand in my place too. So it was not a challenge. So the three of us were now moving from place to place. Then, and I had a very good friend in Osoro. They call him Odegolo. Okay. He was a teacher then. He had a vehicle, a Beetle car. So he now called me and said, "Bros, you are contesting." I'm contesting. He said, "Okay, don't use the bicycle again. Let us be using our Beetle. I will support you."
Wow.
So really, that was what happened. So then as we finished before December, the printing of posters, we need to come out with our poster. I met that man, Okoro, and I gave him money to print posters. And the photograph I used was the photograph of which I was a student union judge at the university I called. So that was the photograph I used. I was wearing my wig because anytime we were sitting as a judge, we wear the normal wig.
Yes.
So I wore that wig as a student, as a judge, the Student Union High Court. You get the point? So that was what I used for my poster.
For your poster.
So as my poster came out, we pasted it everywhere. People were wondering, who is this lawyer?
Is this you?
Who is this judge? Then one of our big uncle again, who was at the top in politics from Isoko, is late now, High Chief Dr. Emmanuel from Araya. He was our political leader. When he came to Isoko one of the week, then I was advised to go and see him. He was driving around, he saw the poster. He now asked one of our leaders again, one late Chief Malamubi, who was his good friend, Atule. He said, I saw a poster of a judge contesting. I saw the poster everywhere. Who is that young man? That man should be good to the House of Assembly. He should be a judge. Malamubi told him that no, he's not a judge. He said, you come and just finish his university. But he told us that was the wig he wore when he was a student union judge at the university. I said, please tell him I want to see him. So I really went to him. High Chief Emmanuel, I went to him. So when I got to his house, and I introduced myself, then because I believe in local, this was when I was a student. He said, young man, are you the owner of that poster? I said, yes. I said, the poster, and I brought it to him. Are you a judge? I said, no, sir, I'm not a judge. What are you? I said, I read political science university, sir. So how do you come about this week? And I explained to him, I was a judge, the Student Union High Court. And now he said, okay, so you are contesting for assembly? I said, yes, sir, I'm contesting for assembly. You are from where? I said, I'm from Ofagwe, the Sokono. Ofagwe, will you be able to meet up with this high temple? I said, sir, the Lord is my strength. I'm contesting election. Really, from that time, he just developed the likeness in me. Nothing was spoiled. He was just telling me that young man is good because he likes to remain neutral. Because I'm particularly that to everybody. So I said, I'm contesting. So really, we started it like that. As we're in need, within that period again, the Babangida now came and divided my place into two constituencies. The other man that had money that he threw him to constituency 2. Okay. I was now in constituency 1 with one other person from other. I said, fine. So the race now become 2 of us in this side, me alone. At the other side. So now, as I am in constituency 1, with that my very good brother William Omoviro, the same party, Social Democratic Party was my party then.
Okay.
SDP.
SDP.
So when I preparing for the primaries, the Ozoro that they came from, like I said, is the most populous town in the whole of Isoko. Ozoro is a very populous town. And good enough, I have some good relations too. Mother of my father and so on is also from that part. So I had a lot of sympathy too in that community. Our late Chief Francis Okoro, the former Deputy Speaker of Bende State House of Assembly, is from that place.
Okay.
So he was also a political father too. So we're all in the race, and the young man that was contesting was also from his place.
Okay.
So he also tried as much as possible to remain neutral. So we're all ready for the primary. We say, well, mine is sympathy vote.
Yes.
God will touch people's hearts to vote for me. Really, we went for the primary. Somehow, he was asked, leave this man to go. This is the first time his area is to be represented.
Wow.
Consistently, he couldn't do that. He went for the primary, and by the grace of God, I won the primaries. So that was how I landed in the House of Assembly. I never dreamt to be a Speaker of the House. So that's 1992 now. Olorigo Felizibro was now elected as the governor. So we went to the House. The governor said he was going to inaugurate the House, 30th of January 1992. I said, okay. I look at the hotel and say, well, God, you have been with me from the beginning. I just came from the school. I said, I want to contest for the speakership. I want to contest for the speaker. I said, I will go for the speakership. I want to contest for the speakership. Then my brother from Udokwa, late Kingsley Otonoya, he's a barrister, he's a doctor. He was an academic doctor, and seasoned lawyer. Some others. We're all ready for the speakership too. Myself too, I'm also ready. I was also ready for the speakership. So the day came, governor was to proclaim the House. Catherine Lulu, late Catherine Lulu,
Yes.
nominated me to be the speaker. Another of my colleagues supported, I think Honorable Patrick Fregene from the Shekiri side supported me. Then I think somebody also nominated that late Kingsley, Dr. Kingsley. Well, the die was cast. At the end of the day, by the grace of God, I emerged as the Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly. And that was the first assembly and the first Speaker of the House of Assembly. So it's really a long story. What am I trying to say? Whatever thing that God has designed for you, nobody can change it.
That is it.
Anything you want to do, first thing, humility. The fear of God is very important. Anything you want to do too, just put your trust in God. In all when I was doing all this, I remember one of my brother, when I was contesting to the House of Assembly, in Madaki, he said, okay, this thing, you don't just go and contest without going to make consultation. Let us go and see one man. I say, my friend, don't near me again. God that has been behind me from my primary school, secondary school, I went to the university. I have compiled these various political positions in the university for college of education. I never go to make consultation with familiar spirit. Yeah. Then and now that I'm good, I say no. If God does not want to give it to me, no cause for alarm.
Yes.
And that trust and faith I had in God from my humble beginning, which by the grace of God I had till today, is what has been sustaining me.
Wow. So before we go, tell us, how did you meet your wife?
Okay. Homely now. Well, I met my wife in Port Harcourt. My wife, a beautiful lady, beautiful damsel. After Abacha
Yes.
removed us from office, that was in 1995. Myself and my very, very good friend, we call it permanent LSA, Okoro.
Okay.
My bosom friend. Another of my very big uncle and friend too, High Chief Itu Amande. The three of us, very, very close. Been childhood friends. We were now doing some business with Ompadek in Port Harcourt. Ompadek in Port Harcourt. So we were shortly between Port Harcourt and our place, Warri, because we were living in Warri. As soon as when I left Asabaya, I went to Warri to go and stay. So we were shortly there. We traveled to Port Harcourt. Then I think we were one of our friends, again we met in Port Harcourt, said he wanted to go and make some bank transaction in Citibank. One of the streets there in Port Harcourt. So we got there. When I was a speaker, I never married.
Are you serious?
Yes. So we went with my friend. I went to the bank there. As I was doing the transaction, I saw a damsel and the clerk. The bank said, to the task, this guy is fine. I said, can I talk to her now? I said, wow, this Port Harcourt babes, me, I don't know. So, well, God designed. Yes. God made me to approach her. I just went there to her. I said, my friend, I'm Iman. I just like you. You are doing very well. I can see what you are doing here now. So, very fair, good-looking woman, beautiful,
very attractive.
Very attractive. So, and I said, it's okay, my name is Ruby. I said, okay, Ruby, very fine. So, we now exchange phone numbers then. So, we exchanged contact, we left. So, later, my friend returned and now it's about that girl. We will not leave her. That girl is good. That girl is good. But then, they were all married too. They retired and said, but man, look, this girl, they will not leave her. Let's go to the bank the following day. When they went to the bank, and the guy saw me and said, what are you here for? I told you came with your friend that you. I said, I came here because of you. I said, yeah. So really, we started talking. Where are you from? Where? I said, well, I said, she's from Abia State. Yeah, they're from Abia State. Yeah. So we're in Abia. I called the time for me. It's from Aru, Akatakri, Aru Kulu, area. So, but our family, my parents, lives in Aba. I said, okay. We started that day, we left again. Sometimes we go to Port Harcourt, we stay almost a week or 2 weeks. Following 2 days, we went back again.
You continue
from there. Well, there, okay. My friend, they do say, look, all this back talking is not the issue. Let's go straight to the matter. Let's go and see the father. So we only talked to the guy. The guy said, okay, if you want to see my father, my mother, they are at Abade. Father was a manager in Nigeria. Those are our airplane, how do you call it? Nigeria Airways, in those days. So really, the journey started from there. My friends, that time they were very instrumental that we must carry this damsel from the east to Delta State.
Straight up.
And really, one of these days, we went to Port Harcourt. She already told the father and mother. We went to see the parents. And the very day we got there, the mother was something else. The mother was something else. Very, very warmly, very accommodating. As we entered, he just came out and started spraying spray on us. The father too, very calm.
No language barrier.
No language barrier at all. No language barrier. So everything was okay. When I saw that she came from a very good family background, she finished from Bello University, Zaria, had her masters and so on. working in the bank as a big girl, very young,
And a big boy.
and a big boy. So that was how it started. We were able to bring her from Abia
To Delta State.
to Delta State.
Wow.
Later, I worked and transferred from Citibank to Citibank Warri. She was doing well there.
Wow.
We had 3 children, 2 boys, 1 girl. 2006, she had a professional immigrant to Canada. So all of us traveled to Canada. My children, all of us. I stayed for about 3-4 months. I said, look, I'm a politician.
I have to come back home.
I can't live the life of Oyibo. So I left them. I became citizen. I came back. Canadian government gave me permanent residence to visit and come for 5 years. 2011, after some time, I said, nah, my children do primary school there, do secondary school there. They were just lost there. I brought them back. 2011 to come and do their secondary school here in Mekopano. So they went to master care at Graceville, finished their secondary school as citizens, push them back to Canada, they're going to do the university. So they are there.
All right.
Meanwhile, my wife too said, well, you'll be there for quite some time. You have to come back here. And she came back since 2012 to here. Today, she's the MD Data Trust Money Bank.
Wow, she's a very pretty woman.
Yeah.
Super pretty.
So that's my
Really
wife.
pretty. All right, just before we go, your advice to our youth.
My advice to our youth, I'm also a youth anyway. Firstly, you should live a life to fear God. When you are living a life to fear God, put your trust in God, then there are so many things that will be associated with it. Avoid criminality. Avoid doing things that will cause problems to you. The haste to make money has to be avoided. Academic is very important. If you know that your head cannot carry you to school, you can go and learn a skill. Anything you put your hand and you believe in God, you can make it in life. But in a situation where you want to drive Mercedes-Benz because some people are driving the Mercedes-Benz and you don't know how they make the money to drive the Mercedes-Benz, then you will now become uncontented. You will now become to go after things that will make you to make haste money, and that is why many of our youth fall into trouble. That is why we have so many of them in this social media, Yahoo. That is why we see many of them that are into ritualists and so on and so forth. Once you fear God and you keep the rules of God, God will help you. And anything you put your hand, God will also help you. Yes, it is true that to get money is not easy, but when you work it in a genuine way, God will make sure that you make it in order for you to develop yourself. You may not amass the whole wealth in the world, but whatever you have that God has given to you and you are contented, it will be okay. So my advice to the youth is that stop that will make you not to fear God and will make you to join a gangs that will make you to fall into trouble tomorrow. If you are a thief, you are not a child of God. If you are a Yahoo defrauding people's money, you are not a child of God. If you are killing people for ritual, taking their pants, you are not a child of God. But anything you are doing genuinely and you put your hand, God will prosper you. So my advice is everybody, being a youth, being an elder, be contented with what you have, and God will prosper you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
You so much. Wow, no doubt you had a swell time on today's episode. I like what he just said. Fear God, be contented with what you have, and also avoid criminality. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, HBS Show with Blessing. And our guest has been the first speaker of Delta State House of Assembly, talking of Right Honorable Dr. Emmanuel Okoro. He is the special advisor to the governor of Delta State on rural and community development. I am Blessing of Omea.
It's the HBS show with Blessing, the screen goddess. History behind success of your role model.